Hello, and welcome, my friends, to the next video in the Create Better Content series, where I show you how to tap into your creativity to stay consistent with your marketing and reach more customers. My name is Penny, and I'm going to guide you through this content development process. I want to do more than just teach you how to create engaging content, more than just talk about how to use AI, but to really think about your marketing and how you are able to use it to reach more qualified customers. And if you want to learn more about creativity and how all of this can help you develop your marketing plans, I would love it if you would hit that button below and subscribe to this channel. And below in the description box, there are several links. One of the links that you're going to see is for the Content Prompt Playbook. This is a free download. And for those of you who are already using AI tools to help you write with your content, this is going to help you with some plug and play type of prompts to help you actually get more strategic about what comes out of the results that you get when you're using AI. Another link is that you can join us in the Marketing Strategy Collective program. This is the group that we meet every month on Zoom. We get together. You get monthly strategic workbooks. All of these things happen to help you with your marketing. So you see the links below. You know what to do to learn more. So let's jump into this today. And I'm going to touch on something that's going on with the Marketing Strategy Collective right now anyway, because I want to start with this question. And this is where we all are in our group. It's the middle of the year. We're looking at our mid-year review. We just, as a matter of fact, completed our implementation session last week, where we take the workbook and it's not just you work through it. We actually talked and strategized together to show them ways to implement the stuff that we're doing. So I want to start with this space, because what if you are looking at the middle of the year as well in your business, and you're thinking about what's going to happen for the second half of the year, what we're going to be doing, and you're looking for your next marketing breakthrough. But what if it isn't creating a new course? Or what if it isn't, let's see what we can follow, some sort of trend that's out there? Or what if it isn't, I don't know, digging more into AI prompts, or signing up to one more social media platform because you're not on enough of them? What if it's more than that? And what if it's what you're doing with your review, when you're looking at the marketing, when you're looking at your plan, when you're looking at what's going on in your business? What if the biggest opportunity in your business is actually in the data that you already have, but you just haven't taken the time to look at this? In the collective, we've been talking about this. We've been talking about doing a mid-year marketing review and what it uncovered. And I want to talk about this today, because here's what I see happening all the time. I think business owners, especially small business owners, you are obsessed with planning your future marketing. You're constantly thinking and asking, what should I be posting? What should I launch next? What could I create next? What's the next strategy? And meanwhile, you're just pushing through all of that instead of looking at what you've done already. You know, have you been following what's happening on your emails? Have you been looking at the data and the metrics about the posts that you've been doing? Have you been checking to see if anything that you've been putting up there is actually, I don't know, converting, making sales? Was there anything that you saw that just was like, wow, that's amazing. I had no idea that video was going to do so well. And if you are not looking at your business like that, that's a problem. Because here's one thing I can tell you, for being in business for myself for over 25 years, your business, especially when you are using, let me start that sentence over again. Your business, especially when you are monitoring something, what I refer to as decision metrics, it's leaving you clues. It's telling you what's going on. And I think what's happening, and I saw this happen in my monthly meeting, in our monthly implementation session, I shouldn't say that. We do an implementation session for the mid-year. What I saw from the members was that they're moving too fast to even notice these numbers. So today I want to talk about this. I want to talk about how you can look at what's happening in your marketing, all of this data, this information that we have, and how are you going to uncover the opportunities that are most likely sitting there right in front of you and you're not doing anything with it. Because here's what I see. There's a pattern. Because when something isn't working, business owners immediately think, okay, I just need a new idea. I need a new content strategy. I need a new lead magnet. I need a new offer. I need to be on another social media platform. And don't get me wrong, that piece right there is one piece of your marketing. And it is true to keep doing things like that, to look forward. But often, your biggest opportunity sometimes comes from looking backward, which is why we do these mid-year marketing reviews. Your marketing isn't always about how much you can create. It's about learning. I mean, think of it like this. Okay, think about professional athletes. You know, they don't just show up the day of the game. They practice. They watch game films. They review what happened. They study patterns. I did this, and then the other player did this. They look for their mistakes. They look for their strengths. And so what they do is they're taking an overview, and it's not to judge themselves or to condemn what happened in that last game. It's to learn from it. It's to learn from what's happening with your strengths, weaknesses, for you, your social media posts, and how can you review this information and turn this into marketing, your marketing plan and your marketing strategy. So it comes like that. It's about making sure that when we are looking at this data, when we spend the time to do this mid-year marketing review, stopping and looking at the numbers and not just looking at them going, okay, I got more followers this month, or okay, I got more impressions on these videos this month, but what can this teach me? And this is so important, by the way. This information, this digging into data and understanding the data is so important that I can tell you that AI tools are now starting this. When I go in to check my my YouTube channel analytics, I get AI questions popping up. Do you want to know why this video did so well? Do you want to know how people are finding you online? And I say, yes, please, yes. Because this information is so important and it's going to help you continue to move forward. So it's not just about, let's see how we can create and publish and keep going and keep going. It's about looking at these numbers and saying, what can this teach me? What can this, especially content that has performed, and I don't want to say better, I just want to say different than everything else. Maybe you had this one email that had double the open rate. Maybe you wrote a LinkedIn post that generated unexpected engagement from people who are second and third connections to you, not your immediate connections. Or maybe you had a blog post that had an enormous amount of traffic that people were coming to, like maybe something from Pinterest. You have an offer that you posted up on, I don't know, on Instagram, and you started to get more, not that there was a lot of click-throughs, but you started to get DMs of people asking questions. So you'll notice those results when they happen, right? And you think to yourself, that's pretty cool. That post was pretty darn cool, and good to see those offers are actually getting people to click on it. I get that. But here's where this opportunity gets missed. Did you investigate why? I mean, if the AI tools are starting to ask us, do you want to know why? You should want to know why. Because your highest performing content is often just trying to tell you something. And a lot of times we look at our numbers and we look at these and we're like, oh, that was a really good thing, or maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe it was, but maybe not. Maybe that content revealed something like a topic that your customers care about. Maybe you touched on a problem that they've been trying to solve and they just couldn't put the words to it, and you spelled it out for them. Maybe you shared a belief that they're thinking, oh my goodness, this is how I do this, or this is how I feel, and they strongly agree with. So the question isn't which pieces of my content perform best. It's why did it perform best, right? Because if you think about it from that place of just looking at it, for the numbers versus why, you are not really looking at it as for what's happening in real time with the people that are connected to you, right? So if we think about it from that, because I think what's happening sometimes when we see things like this is that we think maybe it was just a fluke. Maybe it was just a thing that kind of happened, because we often measure success based on this goal that we intended it to be. And if we didn't hit that win, and we didn't hit that goal, we just kind of brush it off. Like, let's say that LinkedIn post that did really, really well and had a whole bunch of likes on it. What happened? Well, no, let me start that sentence over again. When I'm talking about unexpected wins, like maybe you wrote a post on LinkedIn and it did not get a lot of likes, but it ended up generating like 3 direct messages where it really resonated with them and that they messaged you directly. So maybe people didn't hit that like button, but it was enough to have people take action and directly message you. That's something to think about. That's worth paying attention to. Or maybe the blog post that you wrote didn't generate leads, but it is consistently driving website traffic month after month after month. That's valuable information, because that could be SEO related, it could be keyword related, it could be the topic itself. Look into that. And that's what I mean. Sometimes success shows up in ways that we weren't measuring. Because if we were looking at our blog post and we were thinking, I wanted people to buy this thing or to download this thing, but yet we are consistently getting hundreds of people clicking on this every single day, it's still an important, valuable metric then for us to be paying attention. So if you think that you're measuring success by how many people, became a lead or downloaded something or bought from you, you might be missing some of the signals pointing towards an opportunity. Because if you're just looking at it from that and just stop there in these individual results that you think the goal is, you are not seeing the full picture. Because what you really want to look for when you see this kind of information, when you are looking at your data, it's patterns. And this is why AI is doing so well. Because what AI does for us is it deciphers the patterns. Because one post that's really that could do really well could be considered luck. But what if you had 5 posts that all on the same topic? That's a pattern. You know what I mean? So if we think about it from that place, maybe we're noticing that when we do storytelling type of posts, that they outperform when we do educational. Maybe when we do a behind the scenes videos, this is when it generates more messages, direct messages to us. Or maybe when we can share a personal experience and it creates more engagement than just giving them tips. See, this information is important and we're learning something. And when we're learning from this information, we take it and we can build the strategy from evidence, because this data is real numbers of real people doing real things. It's not us making an assumption thinking, I think a whole bunch of people will think this is really cool. This data is giving us numbers and it's showing us the patterns, and patterns tell us where to focus, and patterns help us to stop guessing what to do next. So if we pull all of this back into using AI, this is one of the best things that you can use with AI. And I get it. AI is fantastic at content creation, but it's even better at pattern recognition. And you have all of this data, more data than you probably realize. I mean, think about it. You've got social media posts, you've got email metrics, you've got your website analytics, you've got client conversations, what happens on the sales calls, all of these kinds of things. So your challenge isn't just collecting all this information, it's seeing the patterns. And this, my friend, is where AI totally shines. I mean, seriously, because AI can process this large amount of information a whole heck of a lot faster than we can. I mean, imagine pulling together like your top performing Instagram posts, your highest open rate emails, your best performing website pages, and then asking AI, what are the common themes that exist among all of this high performing content? That's a whole different question than just saying, write me a post. Because now what you're doing is you're asking AI to help you think, to help you analyze, to help you uncover opportunities. I'm telling you, folks, this is amazing. Here, I want to give you some ideas about how you can do this. It's a really, really simple exercise that you can do, that you can walk through with AI. And this goes for whatever AI tool that you are using. It doesn't matter which. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to gather up your top 5 emails, your top 5 social media posts, and your highest performing website pages. I want you to paste all of this information, copy and paste it into AI, and say, what common themes exist among all my highest performing content? And then ask, what emotional triggers seem to be attracting this attention? So what we're doing now is we're not just asking for the themes, we want to dig in deeper to this information. We want to make sure that we can do something with this information. We want to ask what problems are showing up repeatedly, what messaging patterns seem to be consistent across these examples. Are you using phrases and keywords consistently across this stuff? And when you do this kind of exercise, you're moving beyond just metrics. You are looking for opportunities. You're looking for, what do these results mean? You're understanding the why. So when you start doing this exercise, something really fascinating is going to happen. You're usually going to discover that you are sitting on a repeatable marketing strategy and you just haven't recognized it yet. You're going to realize that you're going to say, why is it that my community responds when I talk about this particular topic? I noticed that my customers seem to click more on these links when I tell stories, or my customers really like this practical framework of how I shared in this video how to do this thing. So you think about it from that. These discoveries, they didn't come because you just asked AI to write you another post and to create more content. They came from studying what's already working. And when we look at this information and we look at all of these metrics, these decision metrics, this can save months of guessing. I mean, if I could get you to do one thing just from listening today, it would be this. Spend less time asking, what should I create next? And spend more time asking, what is in my existing marketing trying to teach me? What is going on with these numbers that are trying to teach me? Because this data, it's leaving clues. Your content leaves clues, your data leaves clues, your community leaves clues, your customers leave clues, and the businesses that are going to grow aren't the ones that are just creating more content. They're the ones that are learning why this is happening. They're identifying these patterns faster. And when you identify this information, You turn the information into better decisions. You can start planning your next campaign. You can create another month of content, especially before you ask AI, can you give me 50 new ideas? So take an hour of your time and review your last 30 days. Find those posts that are doing well. Study your wins. Look for patterns. Ask for questions. Ask better questions. And let AI help you uncover what you have most likely been overlooking. Because I really believe your next successful marketing campaign may not just come from a brand new idea. It may come from understanding why your last successful campaign worked in the first place. And that's a hidden opportunity most business owners miss. And now you, my friend, can move forward and see what you uncover. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this episode is starting to give you some ideas to learn new skills for your marketing, I would love it if you would hit the like button below. And then do me a favor, hit the share button with another business owners. I would love to continue having these conversations with more and more business owners, especially the ones who are using AI. So if those of you who want to look for a step-by-step process, I would love it if you would just share this conversation. Let's keep this going with other business owners. And if you, my friend, are ready to take this further and join us inside the Marketing Strategy Collective, we take these ideas and show you how to turn them into a content plan that's going to drive you sales. You see the links below. You know what to do to learn more, to get the marketing help you need. Because you are magnificent, my friend. And let me be the first to say, I'm proud of you. Until next time.